It's done. The movie's out. The link is in the description. Just takes up 24 minutes, 13 seconds and 7 frames of your time. 9 minutes, 18 seconds and 23 frames if you watch it at 2.6 times the speed. If you think you don't have a reason to watch it, then listen to this.
If you want the Disney Star Wars sequel trilogy, and The Last Jedi with it, to be stricken from canon, then voice that opinion. Show the higher-ups at Disney that fan and shareholder interests align.
When I was growing up in Bakersfield, my favorite thing in all the world was to go to the movies on Saturday afternoons for the chapter plays. My favorite was Rocketman, and once it was a no-brakes chapter. The bad guys stuck him in a car on a mountain road and knocked him out and welded the door shut and tore out the brakes and started him to his death, and he woke up and tried to steer and tried to get out, but the car went off a cliff before he could escape, and it crashed and burned, and I was so upset and excited. And the next week, you better believe I was first in line, and they always start with the end of the last week, and there was Rocketman trying to get out, and here came the cliff, and just before the car went off, he jumped free, and all the kids cheered. But I didn't cheer. I stood right up and started shouting, "This isn't what happened last week! Have you all got amnesia? They just cheated us! This isn't fair! He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodle car!" They made us sit through that, so they'll have to start there. But, well, it seems they aren't able to, so they want to find cheap excuses like an alternate timeline or a multiverse, or both? You realize what kind of holes that tears into the plot of Star Wars. Once time travel is introduced, there are no real stakes anymore, unless you throw logic completely out of the window. Have they learned nothing from the Holdo maneuver? The temple that gave access to the Veil of the Force was destroyed, so just leave it at that. And the Emperor having his own mirror makes no sense, since there wasn't one behind Ahsoka when she fought Vader either. Be that as it may, I for one am not willing to accept that. I'm not their guinea pig they can test out their ideology propaganda on. Decisions must have consequences. It's not like the fans seem to expect all that much in the first place. I mean, look at The Mandalorian. There's nothing happening. I mean, their new TV booth background technology is surely impressive, but I for one was never that impressed by tech demos. And is that really all you want? Some pretty lights flashing at you? I remember a time when Star Wars had a plot and not just expensively created scenery, when there were lessons to be learned, wisdom to be passed on. Anyway, it's not like the creation of a multiverse would explain all the plot holes and convenient accidents in the sequels. Again, I point you towards Mauler's video to get a complete list. My movie does though, and I do it in 24 minutes, 13 seconds and 7 frames. And there's no time travel, no alternate universe, yada yada, we've been over this. I really explain everything. All you have to do is pay attention while you watch it. Seriously, it's all there. I'm not trying to pull a Palpatine's new clothes on you. Though this isn't the time to explain every little thing I put in there, but I will in the next video most likely. Until then, feel free to spoil every metaphor and what else you can find in the comments below. This is the Spoiler Network after all. Also, tell me if you hate it and why. But should you like my approach to fixing Star Wars, let others know. Let Disney know. I made this little film with almost no money. Imagine what I could do with an actual budget. Well, I could actually pay my crew and the actors for starters. Hire more than one professional. Not to worry. If you've watched until the very end, you probably already know that this will continue either way. Just the quality and the time frame are still up in the air. I have plans for all kinds of scenarios, from Disney actually suing me to them asking me to make episode 10. I know what you're thinking, but I'm German. The last guy was Austrian.